1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
Honest opinion, so then I can be confident that when I put that into a public perspective, that I'm not going to flop. Does that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yeah, in a way, I can understand where you're coming from, but what I'm getting from there is that in order for confidence to really work, there has to be a bit of a criticism.
Absolutely.
I have a constructive.
I think it's comfortability with criticism.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's the main point. Being comfortable with somebody being able to criticize and take that, develop, and move forward with that.
Right.
I think that's a strong way to build a confidence.
Right. What if your songs are just good, and somebody's actually telling you the truth? How about that?
Then I suppose that shows a lack of confidence.
All right. Okay. I like where this is going, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think I take the point Danny's making that if you just had 100% praise on anything, not just music, but you'd start to think it may not be as sincere as you would hope. But equally, I think it depends on who those comments, who that critique is coming from. If it's somebody you trust, who you know is honest with you, would be prepared to say, well, actually, not so keen on that, but I like that, whatever it may be, then you could probably have faith that they're telling you the truth. So, yeah, I think it depends totally on who the person is being critical or praising of you. I don't think it's more than that, really. Yeah.
Well, having said that, all right. So we're all songwriters and singers. So it's more appropriate to say this. So for instance, there's two songs that I listened to today, and I'm thinking, I don't know how this song managed to go viral or even get any sales. And one of them is Whopper Gundam Style. Now that's one song. I listened to it. It's catchy, but then I'm thinking, if I was his manager, I would say to him, don't release it. But it went on to be a great success. And another one is I Need a Dollar. I need a dollar is what I need. And I'm thinking, it's repetitious. The guy's just repeating the same thing. And to me, it sounds boring to me. But it went on to be a great hit. So when we're talking about songwriting and songwriters, you've got to be really careful though. Because what the audience might like, you might not like it. Because I remember the Beatles, when they went for an audition, before they got famous, there was somebody that was supposed to be their manager then, and he said, I would get a different profession if I were you, he said to the Beatles. And they went on to become, famous, sold out in America, became worldwide. I bet the guy's probably
kicking himself.
Kicking himself. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the phrase that I'm looking for. He's probably kicking himself now. So you got to be really careful when it comes to songwriting, aren't you? Are we all on board with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think music, like lots of other things, is very subjective. We can all hear stuff.
The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything customers. And fund the aim of everything customers.
Are we all on board with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think music, like lots of other things, is very subjective. We can all hear stuff, which we do. When you're out and about, you might go into, I don't know, McDonald's, they play a lot of music. Some of it you think, oh, that's good song, good hook on the music. Equally, someone else sitting in there might saying, well, what are they playing that sort of rubbish for? So, yeah, stuff gets released, which none of us would necessarily, or some of us wouldn't agree with, but it is subjective, and I expect probably for most music that gets released into the public domain, it's got to be of a pretty good standard. I can't imagine any record company or publisher will put something out there that's going to be an obvious loss to them. So, yeah, I think it's subjective. You know, one man's meat is another man's poison, as they say.
Yeah.
So I think it's because of that, because of it being subjective, why it kind of instills more confidence. If you can think that, and I suppose this goes in any kind of art form really, but if you can think that maybe someone's told you that they don't like your music, which is absolutely good, but then you still think, you know what, I'm confident in this. I like this. I'm going to put it out there. Someone else might like it. One person might not like it, but 2 billion might like it. But then you could probably also say that in the reverse.
Yeah.
Well, the other there's some when I thought about this topic, there was something that came to mind, and it was a book I read as a little boy. I know I was about 10 years old when my uncle. It was just a book that he read, and he just I found it and I started reading it, and I was so engrossed in it, but I couldn't really. It wasn't something that was meant for my age group, if you know what I mean. And the title of the book is The Magic of Thinking Big, and it was by I think it was a professor or a doctor called David J. Swartz, and it basically just encourages the readers to sort of think beyond their limit. So sort of project what you want, or something like that. So if you want a house, think along the lines of making that money to get the house. And when I grew up, I found out it was a lot of rubbish because you had to work for it. But that being said, as a kid, it did give me a lot of hope. Now, it didn't give me the confidence that I needed when I needed it. I needed the confidence to be able to approach a girl and get a girlfriend. I didn't need to buy a house when I was 10, 15 years old. It wasn't something that, but I tried to then use that sort of, the message in the book to then, it was like attract what you want. And I tried my hardest, but I still couldn't get a girlfriend. I still couldn't get a girlfriend. So would that then be down to confidence, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think one thing you said there about these success.
Of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Custis. And fund the aim of everything Custis.